interwebs. MoralGamer. Yep, I'm taking a look at an old game. So let's go back a little bit here to a simpler time in gaming, when we measured everything in bits. And yes, first there was your 8-bit console, and then your 16-bit, and your 32-bit, and somebody said, screw 64, we're going 128! And it's at that 128-bit console that we found a gem among gems. This was Phantasy Star Online. And that's what we're going to look at today. Submitted for your approval. Is this one a good game, bad game, history lesson? Let's go. Well, Phantasy Star Online was Sega's answer not only to EverQuest, but it was Sega's venture. And let's talk about innovation for a moment, because Sega said at one point, I'm willing to bet that we can take our consoles beyond what people have gotten used to. I mean, you may not know this, but the Sega Saturn had an online adapter where you could go online and play Duke Nukem against other people. Sega decided, let's make this built-in, standardize it, and call it the Dreamcast. Beautiful system is what it was. But to show that they could do everything a PC was doing, they put out a game. And that game, Phantasy Star Online. And yes, I love this game so much, I had to get myself the GameCube version. Actually, I have the Xbox version somewhere. And the Xbox version is, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. But Phantasy Star Online was basically Sega's answer to your EverQuest, to the early MMOs of that time. And from an innovation standpoint, this was actually really cool, because it's showing that consoles can keep up. When you went online, you go into your hub, and you'd pick up a group, or find a group, or people could join your group, or friends, and it was sweet, because you had your Hunter ID, and you could connect with people. It was community-based. It was awesome. And it was free. At least on Dreamcast it was free, by the way. Xbox and GameCube, you actually had to pay. Pay to play. But it was cool, because once you got into an instance, you could either play through the normal parts of the game, which, yeah, who really wants to do that? Or you could do specialized quests. My personal favorite was Towards the Future, where you run through and you fight every boss. It's good for power leveling. Which, yes, we could do that grinding. And you could get a character down from nothing all the way up to 80, like that. Pretty quick doing Towards the Future. Sad part is right now is that the servers are offline. You can't play it online anymore. But for when it was, this was actually a really cool, really novel idea, and Sega was showing people these consoles can do more than what everyone else has been relaying to them. I'm giving this game, for innovation's sake, a 5 out of 5. That's when we get into the story. And the story in this game, well, yeah. You are a hunter. We'll get into the meaning of hunter, because there's multiple types, but you are a hunter. You've been dispatched by the principal down to Wrangell to find out what happened to the pioneer and Red Ring Rinko, his daughter. That's the story in a nutshell. The problem with the story is how it's told. Now, I don't know if this was standard, because I didn't play very many MMOs before this. This is actually my gateway drug to MMOs. The thing is that they don't tell the story very well. There's a few cinemas here and there, like when you beat monsters, but for the most part, though, it's you want to learn, you have to find these little stations with like, they're little message stations, and they'll tell you the story. Or if you take the side quest, you can kind of learn the story a little as you're going through it. Overall, though, the story's not interesting enough. It's the way they're presenting it. It just doesn't draw you in. It's things happen in a corner You're not part of these things, but you're supposed to know about these things. I play a game, I want things to happen to me. I want to be part of the change. I want to be part of what's going on. Make me part of it. Phantasy Star Universe did that wonderfully. Phantasy Star Online, not so much. 1 out of 5. Because I honestly just couldn't get into the story here, guys. Classes. Trust me, I got class. Magic class. I love me playing a wizard. Alright? And the way this game breaks it down is, everyone's a hunter. You're a hunter, you're a hunter, you're a hunter, everyone's a hunter! But what type of hunter are you? They got this interesting system where the hunter class is a combination of their type, their race, their type, their class, and then their race. Yeah, type, race, sex, or something like that. Excuse me. It's kind of weird. So, if you're playing as a wizard, you are foe something. And so if you're playing as a human, you could be a Fomar. That's Force User Male. But then for Moral Force User Female. And then it's for Numar Force User Elven Male. Well, they're like elves, but they're Numans, is what they're called. Or they're Faux Numaral. And it was kind of cool because each of them ranges differently. They all grow differently. If you're new and you want to play a mage, play the Formal. She actually can take the most physical damage of all the classes. She's got the best stamina. But if you're like me and you love the glass cannon, Fonubarl, because she just boosts up her magic real quick, gets the higher spells quicker, but and she's down. So you gotta do everything from a distance. With your ranger class, you got yourself the Ramar, Ramarl, Rakas, and Rakasail. What's that break down to? Human, male and female rangers. Android, male and female rangers as well. And the difference between the two is humans can use basic magic. Basic magic, which is good. But when you get into the androids, the casts can't use magic. They can deploy traps and they can see traps, but they can't use magic. They're also immune to some status effects like poison and stuff, which makes them great. Great when you want to stave off enemies. Then you get into the final class, which is your hand-to-hand combats, the hunters. Hunters, if you're playing a Humar, which is just your hunter male, he's kind of your well-rounded character. Hunumarl, which is kind of weird because she is Hunumoral, She is a Newman hunter, which means she's weaker when it comes to physical damage, but yet she does higher magic damage, which I'm scratching my head because why do we want a hand-to-hand combat expert that's better at magic? That didn't quite make sense to me. And then, of course, you've got your male and female androids for the hunters, and they're just your tanks. Go in, kick butt, take names, recharge. Worse. The class system is great, but it's all down to the stats. I mean, essentially, there's 3 classes. Force User, Ranger, and Hunter. And if you just figure out which one of them, and then you figure out how you want to grow, and that's it. I'm not impressed. Everyone else has done something similar. I hope for more, and you get more in Phantasy Star Universe and the later games, but I'm going to give their class system a 3 out of 5. It was great at the time, but overall, compared to other things that have been done, I think it's somewhat lacking. Gameplay. 3 different games. 3 different games here, guys. Now, first up, if you're playing on Dreamcast, because Dreamcast Dreamcast and GameCube, you're always having to recenter. I don't remember Xbox because I can't play it anymore, and it's been, it's been 10 years since I've been able to play this on Xbox. No! Thing is that with the Xbox version, as I remember, I believe you could actually recenter yourself. I might be wrong and misrepresenting, but with the GameCube and the Dreamcast, every time you turn around, you always have to hit the left trigger to recenter the camera, which gets frustrating at times because it's like, I really would love my camera to be intuitive, to be tight, and to lock in a point where no matter which way my character's facing, I can see what's in front of me. I don't always want to see what's behind me, but I want to see what's in front of me. And if I have to free look, I'd rather hold something in free look. C'est la vie. They messed up the camera. Gameplay-wise, though, it's decent because you've got your choice between magic and attacks. Or, excuse me, techniques and attacks. And techniques will consume technique points, and the more you use them, the more you deplete, which means you can only do so much of it, right? Meanwhile, with your standard attacks, it's a 3-attack system, and there's a rhythm to it. Your character will swing into a stop position. If you don't, at that time, hit the next attack, they're going to stutter and be wide open. But if you swing to the right rhythm, you can do 3 sequential attacks. Doesn't matter if you're using a hammer or a gun, it's 3 sequential attacks. That actually is on par with most of the games I remember at that time. So, I think this game is average as far as its gameplay. I think it did a decent job for what it was. And my preference would be is that if they ever go back and fix it, which Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Portable really didn't, I would like to see something of a more free-flowing hack and slash based on the speed and weight of the weapon, not necessarily based on just your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 system. I mean, if you don't have the rhythm down, the rhythm's the same for everyone, yeah, whatever. So I'm giving this a solid 3 out of 5 for gameplay. Let's talk post-mortem. Okay, because this game, the servers have been dead unless you have access to something that's like, not Sega. The servers have been dead for years, guys. And, oh, I hate it. But, post-mortem, the way you can play these games is actually, depending on the type, pretty cool. Now, if you're playing the Dreamcast version, you can play offline, 1 player. That's its post-mortem. And it's good. It is good for what it is. You can go and do a lot of solo stuff. If you need a partner or something like that, take a mission, but you can't do the main game by, with anyone else. You're stuck to playing offline, solo, if you have the Dreamcast version. Sucks, but what you gonna do? But still, it's vastly playable, even to this day, by yourself. So if you want to just chill, have some fun with it, hey, Dreamcast version. I would give that one actually a 3 for the Dreamcast version. GameCube version. You can play to this day 4 players offline. And I'm loving that because I can get 3 of my friends over and we can just rock this world. We can sit there and we can be taking down Dark Faults, we can take down whoever we want, and they can't stop us. Because we the posse, man! Problem with the GameCube one, though, is that the GameCube one does take a frame rate hit once you get that 4th person in there. I mean, it jumps down noticeably. You'll see it, especially when more enemies get on there, it drops down to about 25, even as low as 15 in some cases. So, suckage! But still, I would give the GameCube version a 5 out of 5. Despite the frame rate stuff, it's still vastly playable to this game. You can still have fun with your friends, and it still is a good experience. The Xbox version only gets a 1. Why is that getting a 1 for post-mortem? And the reason is it is a coaster. It is a coaster! When Xbox had this game out, you could actually play it online, offline, but you had to have an active Xbox Live account. If you didn't have an active Xbox Live account, you were screwed! No cheapskates at the time. So it really stinks because I can't play with my friends, and come another 10 years down the line, yeah, the game's not going to matter at 10 years down the line, but still, if I wanted to play with people on my Xbox. I can't anymore. That door's been slammed a long time ago, and the whole necessity of being tethered to Xbox Live. Sakyaj! So if you really want to screw someone over, tether them to your online. This is DRM, people! This is why I hate DRM! Always online! No! Sucks, but what am I going to do now? This game isn't even worth a penny anymore. It's a coaster. So Xbox version gets a 1 for postmortem. All that to say, fun factor. At the time when this game was around, this was a lot of fun. Get your friends together. I met so many people online. I had such a blast. Okay? Just going on, yes, it's mindless, but if you want to just chill, relax, and play a game that's simple, challenging but simple, because you did have to prepare for the next area. It was there. It was my go-to game when I had a hard day at work, and I would just sit back, chill, enjoy myself some PSO. It was beautiful, guys. It was really beautiful. For me, fun factor, my personal, I would give it a 4 out of 5. But let's get into the family-friendly business now. That's what we're about, right? Family-friendly. As far as this game goes, what do you got? You've got magic use, obviously. Robots. You've got monsters, dragons, all sorts of stuff. You fight bears. Let's go fight bears. That's what this game is. And people have issues with the magic or any of that stuff. You know, you obviously would be sitting there and be like, probably not. Gun usage. I know some places ban guns. Sword usage. It's all the standard RPG tropes. All of that's coming in here. And so if you have issues with those, obviously this may be something you wouldn't want your kids to play. For me, I look at the animals in this game as being something where it's like, hey, this is the indigenous wildlife. You know, what's like a dragon to us, to them that's just, hey, look, Singe is at it again. Smough is at it again. Singe is a cooler name than Smough, but that's my personal. Any rate, though, they're just animals at this point. So, to me, I see this as being a very family-friendly game. It's cartoony enough, mostly because of the age, to where, hey, I can play this with my kids. I have played this with my kids. And on a family-friendly scale, I would give this a 4 out of 5. So we've got 3 different versions of this game. 3 different versions of this game. And we're going to total them up here. And, drum roll please. I am calling this game a solid 3 out of 5 for the Xbox. As far as it goes with the Dreamcast, 3.28 or 3.3 out of 5. And for the GameCube, a solid 3.57 or 3.6 out of 5. And why the different ones? Xbox was a solid game. It's the post-mortem that really differentiates these 3 games. I mean, the experience was virtually the same across the consoles when it was live. But now that it's over, the Dreamcast leaves me feeling very lonely. The GameCube is a party game, and the Xbox One is still holding up my drink, keeping the sweat off the table. So, 3 vastly different experiences with these games post-mortem, but at their time, they were fun games. And I would have strongly recommended this one back in the day, on any console. So, MoralGamer here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you played Phantasy Star Online? Talk to me about it. Comments below. Keep it clean. And I look forward to seeing you next time with our next review. Thanks for watching.